Big green money trees.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Octavian, and I would like to welcome you all once more to Price Check. This is going to be episode 42, I believe. Perhaps we'll discover the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, or perhaps we'll just delve into the pricing of a few random bits and pieces of rare gear here. For those of you just joining us on this episode, as I said, hi, my name's Octavian, and we are going to be determining the price of a stash tab full of rare gear that I've not seen before, all of it unidentified, and I'm going to be walking you guys through the reasoning behind my decisions, why I vendor what I vendor, why I price what I price, and why I price it at that price. So let's get started with an item level 82, Elder Touched Imperial Claw. That is potentially worth something. Imperial Claw is one of the better claw bases, if not the best claw base, and Elder is certainly a good property for it to have. So let's see what that might be worth, if anything at all, whether or not there's people actually crafting on claws. So we're going to go ahead and put in the claw base, put in the item level, put in the fact that it's Elder Touched, tap that search button, and get a response that it's worth about 3 or 4 chaos. So I'm going to be happy to list it at that, and nice little find. All right, let's see what else we've got. We've got a decent attack speed roll, but we're missing life, we're missing resistances, we're missing damage rolls that I might be looking for. Accuracy is one of them for sure, but not at that sort of level. 186 is pretty low. Percent mana regen, rarity, these are mods that I'm almost never looking for, and the ones that I am are not present. Okay, no life, no resists, pretty easy so far to judge these. We do have a good res roll here that might catch your attention, but without any damage rolls, with only a mediocre stat. Honestly, I would say that dexterity is probably the least valuable of all the stat rolls that you can get, as it's not really got the best benefits associated with it. Strength will give you a bit of life, some melee physical damage. Intelligence will give you some energy shield, some mana stuff. But Dex, the accuracy can be bypassed by a lot of builds nowadays, using like Lycoside, being champion, or having some other means of sneaking through accuracy, be it maybe even Resolute Technique, the oldest one in the book. So yeah, you don't really see all that much Dex stacking going on, not too many benefits out of it, and it's really only ever needed to fill out stats. Now that's not saying that Dex can't ever be worth something. However, by itself, it's not going to bring the value that you need to sell an item to the table. Neither will life gain on kill, or a horrible all attributes roll, or any of the rest of the stuff on there. We do have some amount of flat fizz, but it's incredibly low. As you can see, a tier 5 roll, and that's simply not going to cut it. However, on a jeweled foil, the ideal things we're looking for are high percent physical damage, high flat physical damage, attack speed, and crit multiplier.
Triumphant at last.
Thank you for the follow. That is still on while I'm recording, apparently. Good timing on that. Faster projectiles is potentially nice. However, the rest of this item has not really done all that much work to impress me, and I think it's just vendor food, as we're missing any life or resistances that would have made for a good core. Lots of mana regen, generally not what you're looking for though. Can be nice as a secondary stat. A bit of value add, as I like to say. Maximum ES, mana regen, nothing too impressive here. 67 life and a decent strength roll, but 1 to 5 lightning damage to attacks is, I think, actually as low as it possibly can go. Maybe it can go down to 1 to 4 or something along those lines, but it's pretty bad. As I said, Imperial Claw, the claw base you're looking out for. This is one of the better ones. Gemini is also a good one, but Imperial Claw, I believe, has the best physical damage to start with, or maybe it's the best base attack speed. It's one of the better claw bases. I don't do a lot of claw crafting myself. In fact, I don't think I've ever done any. Does have an attack speed mod, but it's T4. The rest of it is just garbage. Never looking for mana regen on a weapon, that's for sure. Never really looking for it anywhere, honestly. The only time I'd ever value an explicit mana regen roll is maybe on a blue pearl amulet. +1 all attributes. Does actually have a decent amount of life and mana combined for a Mind Over Matter build, as well as a decent int roll. The Dex implicit lets it down a bit, and obviously 1 all attributes is kind of terrible. But we could list it for a few chaos. Maybe it sells. Early in the league, I could see this selling. Now, probably not, but there's no harm in it. 61% fizz is incredibly low, so that's just vendor food. Unlikely that you'll ever see me do anything other than vendor a jeweled foil, but the ones I don't vendor are the ones that are worth like 4 to 10 to 50x, and depending on how good they are. That last one, probably not. But I have sold like 2 jeweled foils that I've gotten for 4x each this league. They both had flaring rolls and some okay attack speed. They're actually really similar to each other. Damage over time, mana, crit multi while dual wielding. Crit multi doesn't really go with damage over time, at least not nowadays. And max mana is not that desirable. Can be, with the right other rolls. No life, bad stats, bad evasion. Flat evasion is never something you're looking for in a ring. And yeah, just junk. Another +1 all attributes, of course. 1 to 2 cold 2 attacks. Pretty garbage. Same here. Power ring base is going to have to do a lot to impress me in order to be sellable, and this certainly didn't. Same thing with the Moonstone ring base, honestly considering taking these off of my filter. Missing a life roll. High strength, decent res, really the only bright points for Ghoul Nail here. Coral Amulet, another base that needs to work pretty hard. It did get a high tier ES roll. It got a good dex roll, which when combined with the high tier ES roll is when it's more valuable. As well as cold res, I think I'm going to corrupt this. And if that hits +1 curse, it might be worth it to someone. Though it's really hard to justify subbing out the amulet slot for anything that isn't a presence of Keula in most ES builds. So it's going to be difficult to get that to sell. Apologies for that. I think I've been coming down with something recently. Talking as much as I do every day might lead to some ill effects eventually. But the rest of this is just vendor food. Saving the best for last, I was hoping, but I guess I was wrong. They are Titan Greaves, eye level 83. Maybe the fact that they're shape or Elder Touched makes them worth something, but I doubt it. We'll do the same process as before to check the base. Pretty easy to do. Titan Greaves. Just tap go. Elder and eye level is already in there, and we could put them up for like 5C. Some of these went up for like a week without selling though. This is up at 3C for a week. So I doubt they'll actually sell, but we'll list them with that Imperial Claw, why not? Okay. And we'll go ahead and risk the vol on that Coral Amulet. Not get anything for my time. I think as a Coral Amulet and not a +1 curse amulet, that doesn't sell ever. I don't know if that even sold with +1 curse. Might have to someone really desperate for the curse. And we'll just put these both up for 4. Alright, let's sort through the rest of this and see if we can find some trash in this treasure. Other way around. I'm certain we can find a lot of trash. As that's most of what price checking is. But you know, you do it for those occasional gems. And it's all worth it in the end once you find something awesome. Alright. 68 life, some mana regen, cold damage, nothing doing there. Missing a life roll, missing some res. Decent stat. We're looking really on an unset ring for plus to level of socketed gems. Sells to RF builds that aren't using Calm's Way, which aren't very many of them nowadays, what with Uberdan's build and all. But still, can find a home. Hello. Hello, crit multi-attack speed and percent fizz. Percent fizz is really low, which is disappointing. Attack speed is really high though, that is T1 attack speed. We've got blind on hit. I don't know if that's an Elder. That is an Elder mod, yeah. So we've got blind on hit, we've got crit multi, and we've got fizz. This is so close to being good. The Eagle Claw isn't a particularly good base either, is it? We're gonna go ahead and look this up. I don't think this is actually good. But we can check. So just Control F, Eagle Claw. Yeah, it's if we sort by DPS or even crit. Let's see, does it come up anywhere? Towards the top of the list, APS perhaps? No, it's pretty darn average overall. And the implicit of 2% of physical attack damage in each life is also not very good as compared to these life and mana gained on hit ones. I mean, we can check it against some other claws on the market potentially, so we look for, but that's just going to be strictly worse than Wasp Nest, you know, at every turn. Like if we look up what a Wasp Nest can do in terms of PDPS, We see that if we sort by DPS, a wasp nest can scale up to almost 300 DPS. 270 is a pretty comfortable thing for it to hit. So if we just go to our PoE DPS calculator, and we take this and plug them right in, calculate, we have 150. That's not very much. That is vendor food, because wasp nest exists. And you can do that with a lot of weapons. I don't think the fact that you get supported by level 20 crit is enough to save it. I don't think the 9% chance to blind enemies is enough to save it. And it's not very valuable because of the base. As we determined, it's not a great base. So, it's just vendor food. However, intriguing it looked at first glance. And that's also food. Okie doke. I'm going to start going a little bit faster through these, just stopping on ones that are, to some degree, noteworthy. As we've got crit chance, and that's really the only thing here. 65 life, res implicit, 2 res rolls, some flat fizz. This is a very mediocre ring that is probably sellable. Diamond ring base, and a bunch of mediocre damage rolls. Some of them even less than mediocre. Damage, attack speed, attack speed. You like to see attack speed on jewels. You also like to see life, percent life, and crit multi. And we didn't get either of those other two, but generic damage isn't terrible. And double attack speed is fine, so we can probably sell that. And the jeweled foils, I am prepared for disappointment at every turn. 2 LE rolls and crit multi, but the LE rolls are not that good, and neither is the crit multi, it's all T3. So I think that's just going over to Navali there. And this hits some garbage attack speed and garbage LE rolls. Spell totem, what I'm actually looking for in Elder Boots a lot of the time is the increased duration mod. That's one that I've been able to sell when it comes along on decent boots. Very useful for something like a poison-based build or blade vortex. Or duration's just a really nice quality of life stat for a lot of builds, so you can definitely get it to sell if you can find a decent pair of boots with it. As sometimes, even for something like a blade vortex build, it'll free up the ability to maybe drop a duration cluster on the tree if it's inconvenient to go pick it up otherwise. But we'll go ahead and just list this ring for 3, and we'll list this jewel for, let's say, 5 to start. I doubt it'll sell at that point, but who knows. Double attack speed can be pretty good. Alright. And the last little pile. Shaper Shield is exciting. Shaper Shields can be really good, almost regardless of the base, because of the power of some of the affixes that they can roll. But we'll see if we actually got there. Unaffected by Desecrated Ground and Endurance Charge Gen. The Endurance Charge Gen can also be pretty good on boots, but again, you have to have a good pair of boots around them, and we definitely didn't get that here. Nope, nothing too intriguing there. On a Elder chest piece, I am looking for percent life. I like to see that. However, Destiny Leather, actually I think Destiny Leather is an okay base as far as evasion bases go. Might even be one of the top tier ones if I'm recalling incorrectly. I'm curious now. Body armor bases PoE. Let me tab over so you guys can see as well. And let's just search up Destiny Leather. And it's Destiny, Exquisite Zodiac, Assassin's Garb. And in terms of total ES, yeah, it's still 4th down the list. Whereas Assassin's Guard even has that movement speed implicit, though less ES, or evasion, pardon me, less evasion than a Zodiac. But still, not terrible, 4th place. That's what my parents always told me. However, the explicit rolls on this aren't very good. 2 terrible resistance rolls. 7% max life is the only thing that's at all decent here. If these rolls were higher, then sure, but the rolls are pretty low. Total amount of res isn't bad. 14 all res is actually okay, but 22 ES is pretty bad. Again, if the rolls were higher, as we've got a low life roll, mediocre lightning res. No movement speed, no life, nothing I'm really looking for there. Well, res, but no movement speed, no life, and not high enough ES, just 1% ES, no flat. 36 life, 52 life, no saving grace from damage mods, and last but not least, what did you get? You got recover on block, and percent ES on a bad ES base, and all res. So, as excited as I was for the shield, I think it's just garbage. Well, that's going to be about it for the episode today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Not a particularly eventful one, though we did find a few moderately valuable things here and there. I will see you all in the next one. Episode 43 should be coming out in just a few days. If you enjoyed this or any of the other content on my channel, then please do subscribe. I will be releasing content at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to try and get it on a regular schedule. And I do stream on a regular schedule as well, 8 hours a day, every day, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Octavian0. Link in the description below. Again, thanks for watching. And again, I'll see you in the next one.